Hey guys, want to put up a quick video titled Stranger Christianity. I think that oftentimes we as Christians want this sort of exciting, more intense, more deep spiritual version of Christianity. We're sort of sucked into this sort of these ideas that really aren't biblical. They're maybe more like Gnosticism or mysticism. But unfortunately, a lot of believers get sort of sucked in or sidetracked by that type of stuff and sort of start to drift away from really what the Bible clearly describes as Christianity. John chapter 14, verse 6, when Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." We see that as Christians, we are called to live as people of the way, living on mission for Jesus, living lives that are centered around the message of the gospel and proclaiming the message of the gospel. And oftentimes, it's sort of like I was watching this, what really sparked this video is the idea of I was watching this trailer for I almost watched literally like no TV whatsoever. I think I watched WWE and UFC and that's about it. But I was watching this trailer on YouTube for this popular secular television fiction show, sort of sci-fi show. And the trailer made even if you, I don't like those type of shows. I'm not like a sci-fi person. If you're into that stuff, cool, whatever. Not really my cup of tea. But, it made the show look really sort of exciting because it had what we call, thematic narrative. It sort of drew you in and it had a lot of exciting special effects and was very emotional and over the top. And I think it reminded me, oftentimes we can sort of fall into the trap of succumbing or giving into or wanting to sort of follow this version of Christianity that has nothing to do with the Bible. It's sort of based off emotions and essentially chasing after these things that don't have anything to do with Christianity. A lot of times Christianity is not going to be like that trailer for that TV show. It's not going to be exciting. I mean, the Christian life, a lot of times, you're getting up on a Tuesday morning, going to work, and it can be very mundane. But I think one of the big themes in the Christian life is really perseverance and also endurance. I mean, we look at the Apostle Paul and his faith, and he was extremely steadfast. He was extremely, rock solid. I mean, he got shipwrecked, beaten up, just bruised, bloodied, the whole 9 yards. It was not fun. And really, when we look at a lot of the martyrs throughout church history, what they went through was not, fun or exciting. It wasn't a high intensity, high octane version of Christianity. But I think that really what we learned from them is that a big part of our faith as Christians is really persevering and actively living out our faith. Even if we're at some type of mundane, boring situation, maybe we're working an office job, what matters is that we are able to proclaim the message of the gospel, share the message of Jesus with others around us. Yes, it might be a very boring place, but oftentimes regarding ministry and where we're called to actually minister to others, it might be a very mundane, normal setting. It might not be anything exciting. Right now I'm uploading this video from the Starbucks parking lot. It's not really that exciting or glamorous, but that's real life. And I think oftentimes as Christians, we can sort of want this sort of spiritual high or sort of this very emotionally driven version of Christianity. And, I think ultimately really consistency is key in our walk with the Lord. Are we, do we have a drive to share the message of Jesus with others? Are we, I'm reminded of the book of Hebrews, running the race, essentially, really to one day end up in that hall of faith as it talks about, in the Bible, those who've gone before us essentially in the faith, and ultimately we want to hear at the end of it all, well done, good and faithful servant. So I just want to encourage you guys, slave, if you are living for Jesus and it seems sort of boring, maybe your walk with the Lord doesn't seem exciting, you think, man, maybe there's something more out there. There really isn't. Read your Bible, love your neighbors, and love God. Essentially, it sounds very simplistic, but really that's really the crux of the Christian life right there. I want to encourage you guys today. If you're an evangelist, if you're a teacher, if you're a missionary, keep doing what you're doing. If you're a worship leader, keep doing what you're doing, serving the Lord. I want to encourage you, the Lord sees what you're doing. That's what matters. Oftentimes people will not, you might not be noticed by people, but ultimately we aren't doing these things for people. We're doing them to serve the Lord. So I want to encourage you today, wherever you're at in your walk with the Lord, Keep running the race and keep living for Jesus. God bless. Have a great day.